In middle and later adulthood, many men begin to notice something that quietly troubles them. Their penis appears smaller than it used to be. This isn't just a cosmetic shift. It reflects a complex interplay of physiology, psychology, and personal perception. Once familiar with the firm, confident erections of youth, many now face a more humbling reality. Reduced firmness, less reliable erections, and the impression of shrinkage. But is the penis actually getting smaller, or is it just a subjective feeling? According to urologists, there is scientific truth behind this concern. As the body ages, hormonal changes, especially the gradual decline in testosterone, directly affect the structure and elasticity of the penile tissues. On top of that, reduced blood circulation due to vascular disease, diabetes, or obesity further limits the penis's ability to reach its full erect length and girth. When these factors combine, they can cause erections to appear smaller and less robust than in earlier years, leading many men to believe their penis has shrunk. Yet, perception plays a powerful role. The tendency to compare with the past, paired with the emotional impact of aging, often leads men to doubt their vitality. They remember the peak of their youth, the sense of complete control over their bodies, and even small changes now feel amplified into major concerns. It's essential to understand that this is not abnormal, nor is it a sign of decline. It is simply a natural part of the aging process. More importantly, taking care of overall health, managing weight, exercising regularly, and maintaining a positive mindset can help men preserve their sexual function and confidence, no matter how their bodies may evolve over time. Testosterone, a name most men have heard countless times, is far more than just the sex drive hormone. It is the invisible architect behind the structure, strength, and vitality of the penis. Few realize that much of a man's sexual appearance and performance depends heavily on the stable presence of testosterone in his body. When levels are healthy, the corpora cavernosa are rich in smooth muscle, blood vessels dilate efficiently, and connective tissue stays supple, all working together to form a firm, flexible penis capable of reaching full, optimal erection. But starting in their 32nd and 42nd, men silently enter a phase of natural testosterone decline. Each year, levels drop by roughly 1%, a number that sounds insignificant at first, but decade after decade, it adds up. Ironically, most men only begin to worry about testosterone once their sexual function noticeably dips, unaware that the hormone's slow retreat has been shaping their bodies in silence for years. By the time erectile strength weakens, desire wanes, or things just don't feel the same, the body has already undergone a quiet but profound transformation. Low testosterone doesn't just make erections harder to achieve, it fundamentally alters the very structure of the penis. Smooth muscle gradually gives way to fibrous tissue, blood vessels lose their flexibility, and elasticity declines. The result? Erections become more difficult to maintain, firmness fades faster, and yes, the penis can appear noticeably smaller. Testosterone, then, is not just the fire of desire, it's the silent builder of masculine form and function. Understanding this connection empowers men to take control of their hormonal health before symptoms take hold. Exercise, balanced nutrition, stress management, and regular health screenings may seem basic, but they're powerful tools in keeping testosterone within a healthy range. And when testosterone is stable, a man doesn't just preserve his sexual vitality, he protects his presence, his pride, and his confidence as the years unfold. As men age, the changes in their bodies extend far beyond appearance or general health. Beneath the surface, at the microscopic level, subtle yet profound shifts begin to unfold, particularly in the penis. One of the most significant yet seldom discussed changes is the gradual decline in smooth muscle and elastic fibers within the corpora cavernosa, the main structures responsible for generating and sustaining erections. In youth, these tissues are vibrant and flexible, able to expand and contract with ease. But with the passing of time, they grow sluggish, less elastic, and lose the dynamic responsiveness that once defined male vitality. This silent shift in biological foundation is what causes the penis to lose its former firmness, shape, and size. Another key player in this transformation is the tunica albuginea, the tough, fibrous sheath that encases the corpora cavernosa. Over the years, it too begins to lose its elasticity. When this sheath can no longer stretch as easily, the erectile chambers beneath it cannot fully expand. The result? Erections that don't quite reach out like they used to, even if pleasure is still attainable. These are not signs of psychological weakness or waning masculinity. They are the predictable outcome of a body following its natural course of aging. The truth is, no matter how strong a man's desire or how resilient his mindset, when the structural framework of the penis shifts, performance inevitably changes. But this is not a failure, it's simply evolution. Like a spring that has served faithfully for decades, some tension is lost over time, and yet the value remains. The good news? This process can be slowed. A healthy lifestyle, one that includes regular exercise, no smoking, balanced blood pressure, and controlled blood sugar, helps preserve the delicate blood vessels and smooth muscle tissue inside the penis. While aging itself is irreversible, a man who understands these inner mechanics and chooses to care for them can extend the strength, function, and pride of his masculine architecture for years to come. One of the most common concerns among older men is the unsettling sense that their penis is shrinking over time. But is this truly happening from a clinical standpoint, or is it simply a subjective perception? A small-scale study offered a surprising glimpse into the anatomical differences between two age groups: younger men, ages 18-19, and older men, ages 40-68. The results showed that, in a flaccid state, the older group actually had a slightly longer average penis length, 22 centimeter compared to 8.6 centimeter in the younger group. But that doesn't mean they have the upper hand. When erect, younger men had the edge, measuring an average of 14.48 centimeter versus 14.18 centimeter in the older cohort. This phenomenon highlights a fascinating concept known as growers and showers. Younger men are typically growers. Their penis appears smaller when flaccid, but lengthens significantly when erect. In contrast, older men tend to be showers. Their penis may look longer when flaccid, but doesn't expand as dramatically during erection. This difference reflects age-related histological changes, including decreased elasticity and diminished expansion capacity caused by hormonal shifts and the gradual stiffening of penile tissue. However, length is only part of the story. What truly stood out in the study was the notable decrease in both girth and glans width among older men in both flaccid and erect states. This reduction in circumference plays a major role in the common perception of shrinkage. Even if length remains relatively stable, a thinner, less full appearance can make the penis feel smaller and less robust. While the study's sample size was limited, its findings validate that the perceived changes are not imagined, they are real, measurable, and biologically grounded. More importantly, They reveal that this transformation is not a decline, but a natural evolution. The penis doesn't lose its power. It simply expresses it differently with age. And with proper care through hormonal health, exercise, circulation support, and emotional well-being, a man can continue to experience a satisfying and fully functional intimate life, even as his body gracefully moves beyond its youthful prime. When it comes to the concern that the penis appears smaller with age, one often overlooked yet crucial factor is obesity. As men reach middle and later adulthood, body fat, especially in the lower abdomen and pubic area, tends to increase significantly. The thickening fat pad around the pubic region can envelop part of the penile shaft, causing the visible length to appear swallowed or reduced. Anatomically, the true length remains unchanged, but visually, the penis seems to recede. This is why many men feel as though their penis is disappearing with age, without realizing that the real culprit is the fat surrounding it. But this is not just a cosmetic issue. Obesity is closely tied to a decline in testosterone, the key hormone that maintains male sexual structure and function. As visceral fat accumulates, the enzyme aromatase becomes more active, converting testosterone into estrogen. This accelerates the hormonal drop, leading to faster than normal declines in testosterone. The result is a condition known as late-onset hypogonadism, age-related hormonal deficiency, marked by increased fat, reduced muscle mass, and diminished sexual performance. A serious testosterone deficiency doesn't just dampen libido, it leads to the gradual loss of smooth muscle within the corpora cavernosa, making the penis softer and unable to reach or maintain full erection. In such cases, the feeling that the penis has shrunk is no illusion, it is a biological reality. A man can see and feel that he is no longer the man he used to be, not because he's imagining it, but because his body has genuinely changed. The good news is that most of these factors are within one's control. Losing weight, especially fat in the belly and pubic area, can instantly make the penis appear longer. Even more importantly, it can help naturally boost testosterone levels. Early detection and treatment of hormonal decline can restore, at least in part, the function and appearance of the penis. Aging is inevitable, but how a man responds to it determines whether he fades quietly or continues to live with strength, pride, and presence. When testosterone, the cornerstone hormone of male vitality, drops significantly in middle and later adulthood, the consequences extend beyond sexual performance. Even the physical shape of the penis undergoes noticeable changes. However, a ray of hope has emerged from medical research. Testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, may partially restore penile size, especially in men suffering from severe hormonal deficiency. In a notable study involving 88 men diagnosed with late-onset hypogonadism, their baseline testosterone levels averaged only 7.6 nmol/L, far below the normal range. After 12 months of treatment, that number nearly doubled, reaching 17.61 nmol/L. Even more compelling, researchers didn't just measure hormone levels, they also tracked stretched penile length, a clinical marker that reflects the structural resilience of erectile tissue. The results were promising. Average length increased from 11.46 centimeter to 12.93 centimeter over the course of a year. While the change didn't reach statistical significance, it marked a real, tangible improvement. This suggests that when the body is replenished with the testosterone it genuinely lacks, The tissues within the corpora cavernosa can regenerate, leading to enhanced length, rigidity, and structural integrity of the penis. Still, it's vital to understand that TRT is not a magic pill, nor should it be misused. This therapy is most effective in individuals with clearly diagnosed testosterone deficiency, not as a shortcut for size enhancement in otherwise healthy men. More importantly, TRT must be administered under expert supervision, as improper use can lead to serious side effects, including increased risk of blood clots, metabolic disturbances, or cardiovascular complications. What's truly encouraging is that this research provides new hope for men who once thought they had to silently accept the gradual decline of their intimate identity. It affirms that, with the right intervention at the right time, the body retains a remarkable capacity to restore itself even in later years. True masculinity is not about clinging to the body of your 20s, but about refusing to surrender when change arrives and rising to meet it with wisdom, science, and strength. From the perspective of a seasoned urologist, changes in penile size with age are not always as dramatic or universal as many people believe. In fact, most of his patients retain a relatively stable penis length well into old age. But what has captured his attention over the years isn't the length, it's the texture. The penis, once firm and elastic in youth, gradually becomes softer, less toned. He's coined a striking term to describe this transformation: the wheat bread penis. This phrase isn't meant to mock or shame. It's a vivid way to capture a real biological shift. As men age and lose significant amounts of smooth muscle within the corpora cavernosa, the penis begins to lose its natural firmness. When pressed with an ultrasound probe or treated with shockwave therapy, instead of offering resistance and recoil like it once did, the penis flattens limp, spongy, almost lifeless. It has shape, but lacks structure, like pressing into a soft slice of sandwich bread. What this illustrates is a crucial truth. Retaining external appearance doesn't guarantee internal function. Some men may look fine on the outside, but inside, the penile tissue has been largely replaced by fibrotic or fatty matter, instead of the resilient, smooth muscle that once powered youthful erections. That's why some men still achieve erections, but struggle to maintain them because the framework within has quietly deteriorated, even if the facade remains. The good news? This decline is not always irreversible. With a disciplined lifestyle, regular medical checkups, consistent physical activity, and timely hormonal therapy, smooth muscle tissue can be reactivated or at the very least, protected from further decay. In doing so, a man preserves more than just the outward form of masculinity. He holds on to the inner vitality, the living strength that defines a healthy and empowered later life. Because in the end, real confidence doesn't come from what you see, but from what's still alive and strong within. While aging is an irreversible law of nature, that doesn't mean a man must stand by helplessly as his body declines. Especially when it comes to sexual health and the well-being of the penis, there are powerful, practical ways to slow down unwanted changes if a man chooses to take ownership of his health. The real question isn't, when will I start to weaken, but rather, what am I doing to delay it? And the answer begins with the simplest foundation of all: whole body care. First, maintaining physical fitness plays a central role. Regular exercise, particularly cardiovascular training, core strengthening, and pelvic floor workouts, enhances blood circulation to the penis, helps prevent fibrosis in the erectile tissues, and supports stronger, longer-lasting erections. Staying active also aids in weight control and reduces abdominal fat, which directly impacts the visual length of the penis by preventing it from being buried under excess tissue. A fit body also helps stabilize natural testosterone levels, preserving the structural health of the penile tissue as years go by. Avoiding smoking is another critical factor. Smoking constricts blood vessels and damages microcirculation, including the tiny arteries that nourish the corpora cavernosa. Over time, this leads to tissue ischemia, fibrosis, and a sharp decline in erectile function. Quitting smoking doesn't just save your lungs, it quietly rescues your manhood from a slow, silent decline that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Equally important is the awareness and timely treatment of testosterone deficiency, especially when symptoms like fatigue, low libido, muscle loss, or erectile issues arise. Regular hormone testing and consultation with a specialist can make all the difference. In many cases, a subtle hormonal adjustment paired with a smart nutritional plan can help a man retain his sexual performance and masculine energy for many more years. In the end, the most powerful remedy isn't found in a bottle, it's found in mindset. When a man sees the care of his male machinery not as a source of shame or vanity, but as a vital part of healthy aging, time loses its threat. Because when you care properly, live wisely, and understand your body with intention, it will always answer back with resilience in strength, in function, and in the confidence that only comes from truly owning your health. For many men, aging is not merely the silent passage of time, it is a nuanced challenge to strength, self-confidence, and personal worth. Among the many physical changes that come with age, one of the most private yet haunting is the feeling that the penis is getting smaller. At first glance, this might seem like a trivial cosmetic shift. But beneath the surface, it can awaken deeper anxieties about masculinity, diminished desire, and intimacy within a relationship. However, if we approach this issue with clarity scientifically, compassionately, and without shame, we'll see it not as the end of virility, but as the beginning of a wiser, more intentional way of living, one where men take ownership of their bodies, their health, and their dignity. Let's start with the facts. The sensation of shrinkage is not always a figment of the imagination. Part of it is indeed psychological, comparing oneself to the prime of youth, remembering a body that felt powerful and responsive. But there are also real biological shifts happening. Testosterone levels drop gradually every year. Smooth muscle tissue in the penis begins to degrade, elastic fibers weaken, and the tunica albuginea, the sheath surrounding the erectile chambers, loses its ability to stretch. Over time, these seemingly minor changes add up, altering erection quality, firmness, and yes, even shape. These are natural outcomes of aging, not personal failures. But instead of despairing or retreating into shame, this is the moment to shift perspective. If the body no longer performs like it did in your 20s, then it's time to manage it with the wisdom of your 40s, 50s, or beyond. That means not waiting passively for decline, but acting early. It means not hiding your concerns, but asking questions, seeking answers, and seeing a doctor when necessary. Aging is not surrender. It is, in many ways, the ultimate test of manhood, living not to impress, but to understand, to sustain. Science confirms this shift is not irreversible. A healthy lifestyle, regular physical activity, stress reduction, and hormonal balance can significantly slow down the fibrosis of erectile tissue, preserve smooth muscle, and maintain erection quality well into advanced age. And for men with clearly diagnosed testosterone deficiency, medically supervised treatment can restore not only hormonal levels, but also improve penile length and rigidity, as research has shown. And then there's the mind, perhaps the most powerful factor of all. The most dangerous myth an aging man can believe is that he is no longer attractive, no longer a man. That quiet erosion of confidence can damage a marriage, widen emotional distance, and mask problems that are entirely solvable with knowledge, communication, and courage. Talking to your partner, going for regular checkups, and taking better care of your body, these are signs of growth, not weakness. You may no longer be the high testosterone youth of decades past, but you can become the wise man who knows how to sustain his strength with intention. Age itself is not the enemy of male sexuality. Complacency is. A neglectful lifestyle, passive thinking, and silence in the face of change are what truly erode manhood. On the other hand, proactive choices, positive mindset, and informed action are the keys to longevity and vitality, in intimacy and in confidence. Wheat-bread penis, as humorous as it may sound, holds a powerful lesson. When the body softens, when elasticity fades, when resistance is lost, that is not the moment for embarrassment. It is the call to act, to reclaim firmness not only with testosterone, but with habits, discipline, nutrition, and belief in oneself. The body may age, but spirit and strength can be renewed if we choose not to let go. In the end, don't view changes in your penis as a loss. See them as reminders. It's time to live differently, more deliberately, more intelligently. Because sexual health isn't just about hormones, it's the sum of your physical wellness, your mental clarity, and your willingness to stay connected to your sense of self. And when a man truly knows himself more than ever before, age is no longer a barrier. It becomes the foundation for deeper living, lasting vitality, and real, mature happiness. The kind of happiness only a man can build on his own terms.